Hi there, Sharon Coventry here again from Ballyfermot Training Centre. I just want to talk to you about cover letters. So many people say to me, do I really need to do a cover letter because I'll be emailing off my CV? Absolutely, it is so important because that is what's going to set you apart from the others. Our CVs are factual documents. They're about you worked here from this date to that date, what qualifications you have, etc. Whereas your cover letter tells them a little bit more about you. I'd often ask employers, what are the important things that you look for in an employee? And they'll say someone who's reliable, who'll show up, someone who's hardworking. And often those things get missed on the actual CV, okay? I could have a classroom and I might have 3 or 4 people who may have left school and who are applying for the same job. And yet their CVs may read quite similar because they have their schooling and then the course that they've worked on with me. But how do I tell kind of which one's better, which is more suitable? And the cover letter is where that's going to come through. Can this person put together a professional document, a professional business letter? Because that's basically what your cover letter is. What is their punctuation, their grammar, their style of language? So again, all of this is interpreted. The attention to detail, any spelling mistakes. So again, it's really important that you get this reread by a different set of eyes, because sometimes when we're reading things down through, we read what we think it reads as opposed to what's actually on the paper, okay? So always get a second set of eyes for your cover letter. Right, what I'm going to do in this video is that I'm going to, in the second half of it, show you on screen how it should look. But I just want to talk it through first of all to begin with, okay? So the first thing we're going to have is the date of the top left-hand corner, followed by your address, which will be your name and address over the top right-hand side of the page. And the person who you're sending it to, their name and address will be on the left-hand side of the page underneath that. You might have RE and the title of the job that you're applying for, okay? So apprentice vacancy or something like that. Underneath that, you'll come down about 2 lines and you'll have your dear, and depending if you know the person, whether it's dear Mr. Murphy, dear Miss O'Brien, dear Sir, dear Madam, okay? And depending on how you open your letter, so if you know the person's name, if it's a dear Anne, dear John, that you'll then finish it with yours sincerely. So that's a capital Y for yours and a small s for sincerely. And please spell sincerely right, because the amount of people who misspell it is incredible. So it's small s I-N-C-E-R-E-L-Y. There's no E before that last Y, okay? If you don't know the person's name, if it's a dear sir or madam, you're going to finish it off with yours faithfully, because basically you're putting your faith in the unknown, okay? So that's standard for all formal letters. So you have your dear whatever, and underneath that you're going to again skip a line, nice space there. And the first paragraph is going to be the easiest paragraph. This is basically just saying what job that you wish to apply for and where you've seen it advertised. For example, Paddy Power on any given day could have 180 jobs being advertised. So therefore it's really important to state what job it is that you're going for. And sometimes your CV mightn't be obvious, because if you've changed careers, that again kind of they might be reading it going, oh hang on, this person's working in retail, they're now looking for an accounts job. So again kind of it may kind of be that bridge that they also need. But if you do your CV properly, like we'll be looking at, that shouldn't even be an issue, okay? So what we have is, I wish to apply for the position of Office Administrator as advertised on www.jobs.ie on the 5th of May, okay? So that's roughly kind of the sort of information that you'd have in that first paragraph. Your second paragraph, and if you've listened to the previous video, where we said with the job spec, you've taken out the keywords that they're looking for, basically their checklist, and you've made your 2 columns, one with the words they're looking for and how you've actually demonstrated that this is where you're going to give them back 3 or 4 of those words and show them that you're suitable for the job. So as you will see from my CV, I'll take an apprentice for example. I'm currently in phase 2 of my plumbing apprenticeship. I currently hold a valid safe pass and manual handling cert, and I have my own transport. So again, they may have been 3 or 4 of the key things that they were looking for. It could be computer skills, it could be web design packages. Again, you'll know from the job spec as to what words they're looking for and what ones that you marry with, okay? So that paragraph should be about 6 or 7 lines long, and again, give them good information here with this. So they can go tick, 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 and you're really looking at this, oh yeah, this person sounds like the sort of person that we're looking for. These are almost a match. Brilliant. Your third paragraph is where you're going to give them that little bit more. As I said, employers are looking for that hardworking, reliable type person. So what I would usually start off this third paragraph with is something along the lines as, however, what my CV may not demonstrate is, and show them that little bit extra. I had a student once who, being a team player was important on the job spec, and he said, I developed good team skills while working on a charity project in Africa for 2 months. And automatically when you read something like that, you go, oh wow, this is the sort of person that I like. So people who are charitable and all the rest, you automatically, rightly or wrongly, kind of get this impression that they're a good person, and we make assumptions from that. So it could be, again, hardworking, reliable. Maybe you haven't missed a day at work for the last 3 years. So again, kind of pick out just 2 things. Don't use that horrible big list of words that you'll often see on cover letters and on websites saying that highly motivated team player, blah, 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 blah. Because when we see those lists of words, folks, we turn off. We don't believe them, okay? They don't weigh anything. I prefer you to pick 2 words that you feel genuinely describe you and explain that. So, working under pressure. Having worked in retail for 3 years during Christmas periods, etc., I really learned how to work under pressure. Now I believe you, okay? So if you back things up, they're more credible and people buy it. At the end of the day, people buy people, okay? So that's going to be your 3rd paragraph, and your 4th paragraph is basically going to be thanking them for their time and attention. So again, a typical phrase that I probably use for my 4th paragraph would be, thank you for your time and attention. If you'd like to meet to discuss any aspect of my CV, please do not hesitate to contact me on, I'd actually put in my phone number there, because again, you're making it easy for them to pick up the phone and to ring you, okay? And that's what we want them to do. You'll then come down and finish with the yours sincerely, yours faithfully, depending. Come down about another 5 lines underneath that. We'll type a little line and your name underneath. Okay, so that'll basically be the format of your cover letter. I would say refrain from using phrases like, I'd love the experience of this job. Because if you think of it, someone's going to be paying you 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, whatever it is. And just turn that into if someone was doing a job for you on your home, doing an extension. And you said, yeah, the price of that job is 45,000 and I'd love the experience of it. You'd probably go, you want someone who can do it, not someone who's looking for the experience of doing it. So apply that, again, kind of try to put yourself in the reader's position. Okay, what are they looking for? And how would you feel if you were employing someone for this job? Okay. Another thing that I would suggest you do, if you're emailing off your CV, don't attach your cover letter as an attachment. What you should do is copy the main body of your letter. So from the dear, whatever, right down to your name at the end, copy that and paste that in as the main text within your email. That way, the person is way more likely to read it, because if I see it as an attachment, I'll probably jump straight through to the CV just to see what they're like. Whereas when I actually see it in the email itself, my eye can't help glancing down through and picking out the keywords, okay? So always use that as a little technique. Okay, right, so hopefully we're going to have a little look on our screens as to how this will actually lay out, and we'll get this cover letter right. Remember, these are the things you need in order to earn more money, to kind of maximise, so they are worth the time and investment to do them right. Okay, good luck. Today what we're going to do is to write your cover letter. So what we're going to do first of all is that we're going to go and we're going to open up Microsoft Word. When Microsoft Word opens, we're going to create a new blank document, and then we're going to type today's date in the top left-hand corner of your document. It's going to be the long format, which means the date, the month in full and the year in full. There's no need for THs or STs, etc. Underneath that, I want you to type your own name and your own address. We're going to use open block format, which means that there's no commas at the end and each word has its own capital letter. I know it looks strange, but at a moment we will be moving it to the right hand side. If you skip down a line or two, I want you to type in the name and address of the person who you're addressing your cover letter to. Again, same open block format with capital letters for each word and a fresh line for each address line. When you have that done, I want you to go back and select your own name and address, and we're going to right align it. We'll pop back down onto the page underneath the address, and we're going to type in re and apprentice vacancy. We can later on centre this and bold it, etc. I want you to skip down 2 more lines and we're going to type in Dear Mr, Miss, or the name of the person who you're addressing it to, followed by a comma. On the next line, we're going to have our first paragraph, which is basically stating which job that you wish to apply for and where you saw it advertised. In this case, I'm saying I wish to apply for the position of apprentice plumber as advertised on www.jobs.ie on whatever date that you may have seen it advertised, in this case the 18th of March. Pop down 2 more lines, so you're leaving a blank line between your next paragraph, and you're going to start your second paragraph. Your second paragraph will basically state how you match what they're looking for. So as you'll see from my CV, I'm currently in phase 2 of my apprenticeship. Maybe that you have your safe pass, your manual handling certificates, your own transport tools, whatever you feel is relevant and what they've been looking for. In the third paragraph, after you've written about 4 or 5 lines minimum for the second paragraph, I want you then to give the third paragraph a little bit of thought where you're going to write about other things that may not be on your CV, like your hard working, your work ethic, you working as part of a team in the past. Your final paragraph then will be thanking them for their time and attention and making yourself available for interview. So it's something like, if you would like to meet to discuss my CV further, please do not hesitate to contact me, and I would always suggest that you put in your phone number in the last paragraph. It's just to make it easier for them to actually pick up the phone and contact you. Remember, your CV is your marketing. This is what's going to earn you money and to get you into the job. Your cover letter makes you stand out from the other people. It's less factual than your CV. So do take time in preparing it. You're going to finish off with yours sincerely if you know the name of the person you're speaking to. If not, it'll be yours faithfully if it's a dear sir or madam. Skip down about 5 lines and do a continued line, which is the underscore, and you can type your name underneath. If, like me, that your spacing has been a bit too much in the addresses, you can go into paragraph and change the spacing before and after back to 0, and that closes it up that little bit better. So pop your name underneath the line at the end, and then all you need to do then is to save your cover letter. This can be adjusted then for whatever employers that you may be applying to in the future. So just File, Save As, because the first time that you're saving a document, choose where it is that you're going to save it to. In this case, I'm choosing Apprentice Support. Yours might be your USB, and type in the name of the file. In this case, I'm just calling it a cover letter. But you might have specific ones for different employers, so you can save it under the name of the employer that you're going for. And that's it. Thank you.